high school basketball on Cablevision Communications Channel 23. Dan Ravelette, Hank Lopez, and Jerry Merck here at Alice Arena. And the Alice is ready to take on the mighty Terre Haute South Braves. The Alice is 9-6 on the season, and the Braves 13-3 on the year. The Alice is 4-0 in Big 8 Conference play, on top of the Big 8 Conference standings right now. And the Terre Haute South Braves come to town. They're minus one of their key players, Hank, and that could be a very big factor in tonight's contest.
Yeah, it really could. Terre Haute South is without the services of Maynard Lewis. Comes in averaging around 25 points a game. And when you lose a guy like that who's going to Purdue next year to play basketball, it really hurts the morale of the team. But South's an experienced ball club, and they're going to come out ready to play. Last week, the Alice's played Harrison, who was minus two of their best players, and the Alice's had some fits with them. So I'm sure South's still a respectable ball club, and the Alice's can't have any type of letdown because they need to start piling up wins right now before the tournament starts. But look for South to try to be keyed by Maynard's little brother. Maynard's little brother, David Lewis, who's also a big scorer and can light it up. So the Alice are going to have to be ready to play, and they're going to have to play well against Terre Haute South to win this contest.
Okay, we're getting ready for the starting five for the Terre Haute South Braves. They're coached by Pat Rady. Scott Klusner will start at one of the guard slots tonight for Terre Haute South Braves. He is a 6-foot, 180-pound junior, averaging 6'4" per game, 6.4 and 1.3 rebounds. David Lewis, the other guard tonight for the Braves, 6'2", 160-pound sophomore, averaging 6.3 points a game, 6.5 rebounds per game. Chucky Hawkins will be the other guard. Lewis was the forward. Hawkins is a 5'8", 160-pound, only a freshman, averaging 4.4 a game and 2.1 rebounds. And the other forward, Greg Lucan, 6'6", 175-pound senior, averaging 8.2 points a game. And big Frank Smith, 6'5", 300-pound senior, will start at the center slot tonight for Pat Rady's Terre Haute South Braves. So far, the Braves, it's Klusner and Hawkins at the guards, David Lewis and Greg Lucan at the forwards, and Frank Smith at the center slot. The Braves 13-3 on the year, but as we mentioned, without the services of their #1 scorer, Maynard Lewis. He injured his knee and having surgery on his knee very, very soon. And now the starters for the Alices tonight. Shane Cooper will start in the contest tonight. He stands 5'10", 160-pound senior, averaging 2.3 points a game, hauling in 1.6 rebounds per game. He had 4 points against the Evansville Harrison Warriors last Friday night. At the other guard, Mitch Roth, 5'10", 175-pound senior. See him there on the screen, averaging 10.3 points a game, and he also has 22 steals, leads the team in steals this year. Mitch Roth. At one of the forward slots, big Charles Eddy. There he is on your screen, averaging 16.7 points per game, hauling in 7.4 rebounds per game. He has 9 block shots this year, 200 total points coming into tonight's contest. And at one of the forward slots, Craig Curzan, 6'2", 180-pound junior, averaging 5.4 points a game, hauling in 2.5 rebounds per game. And there's big Justin Lowe at center, 6'5", 215-pound senior, averaging 9.4 points a game. Justin has 35 offensive rebounds, 63 defensive rebounds, and he's also blocked 12 shots this year. So for the Alices, it's Mitch Roth and Shane Cooper at the guards, Charles Eddy and Craig Curzan at the forwards, and Justin Lowe at center. For the Lincoln Alices, coached by Gene Miller in his 17th year at the helm of the Alices. He is 8-9 versus the Terre Haute South Braves, though. He's assisted by Don Alstott, Doug Crook, Steve Combs, and Tim Young. So the Alices and the Braves getting ready to tip it off. It'll be Greg Lucan and Charles Eddy in the center circle to get the game underway. Officials for tonight's contest, Ron Grimes from Mitchell, and Mel Redmond will throw the ball up. He's from Mount Vernon. The game's underway, controlled by Cooper. Shane crosses the 10-second line into Lincoln Land. Mitch Roth now with the basketball for the Allisons. Back to Shane on the far side. Into Justin Lowe, turnaround jumper, in and out, no good. Hauled in by Lucan. He'll pass it ahead to Hawkins. Chucky Hawkins on the dribble. against Shane Cooper. Left side to Scott Kleesner now, picked up by Mitch Roth. Back to Hawkins. Big Frank Smith. Around the horn it goes. David Lewis on the left side. Now back to Hawkins. Ball game just underway. Lincoln in a, I'm not sure what kind of a defense that is, Hank. What would you call it?
Well, the Allisons are man-to-man, but they're really sagging around, played a lot of help side because Terre Haute South's a real quick ball club.
Kleesner takes the shot up and good. Scott Kleesner, the first basket of the contest for either ball club. That comes with 7:08 to go in the first period. Eddie's pass comes in to Mitch Roth. He'll get it across the 10-second mark on a bounce pass to Craig Curzan. One time on the floor, bounces it into Justin Lowe. Baseline on the near side. Curzan jumps, fires long, and got it. Three-pointer by Curzan. That's Craig's 15th three-pointer of the year, and the Alice is on top by one, 3-2. 6:40 to go. First period of play here at Alice Arena.
The Alice are going to need more of that outside shooting tonight in this ball game. They're going to have the outside shooting because they're really going to be banging down on Hetty inside. David
Lewis brings it back out to Kleesner. Now to Lucan. Around the horn it goes to Hawkins on the corner. Big Frank Smith, top of the key, picked up by Justin Lowe. David Lewis, left side of the lane. Nice block by Hetty. Smith has the ball up and no good off the mark. Rebound Shane Cooper. Nice block by Justin Lowe, or Hetty rather. Hetty with the basketball now for the Alice is out to Shane Cooper. Nice pass back into Hetty. He almost slammed it. Put it in for his first bucket of the night. Lincoln on top now, 5-2.
That's one of those where Hetty was going to dunk it, but he saw a guy in his way. He just wanted the for sure 2 points. You can tell he takes that little step back right there. He's going to elevate just a little bit higher.
Kleesner with the basketball now for the Terre Haute South Braves. They're 13-3 on the season. Frank Smith, he'll bounce it over to Chucky Hawkins. Lucan, Smith again now in the corner on the left side, guarded by Justin Lowe. Round the horn it comes to David Lewis, now to Hawkins. Chucky, long three-pointer, no. Hetty high for the board, hauls it in for the Alices. Teammate Mitch Roth now with the basketball. He'll get it into Lincoln land. Cooper in the corner with the basketball now. Guarded by Kleesner. Shane dribbles a couple of times to Curzan. Curzan drives, stops, kicks it out to Roth, fires for three. Too hard, won't go down. Hauled in by David Lewis. 5-2 Lincoln on top.
One thing will be interesting to see if the Alices will try to get points off the fast breaker, they'll try to slow it down because Terre Haute South likes a transition ball game. They'd like to push the ball up and down the floor, and we'll see if the Alice will take advantage of that on offense or whether they'll slow down and go through their offense.
Under 5 minutes to go now, quarter number one. Lincoln with a 3-point lead, 5-2. Kleesner with the basketball in 3-point territory. Backs it out a little bit. Gives to Chucky Hawkins in the corner, now to David Lewis. Lewis, the brother of injured Maynard Lewis, he'll fire for three. Too short, no good. Rebound by Smith, back up and good. Big Frank Smith, 300-pounder, 6'5", and pulls his Braves to within one, 5-4. Roth has the basketball and whistle away from the ball, and a foul called on the Braves. Hank, I think you remember playing football against Big Frank Smith, don't you? You and Jerry both.
Yeah, he played football, and he'll be heading to IU next year to play football, but he might cause the Alice a little problem right now on the basketball floor. Lowe's the biggest guy the Alices have down there, and he's banging around with Frank Smith inside, but he got the foul there, and the Alice like to see him get in foul trouble and take him out of this contest because his size is really going to be a factor down inside.
Mitch Roth up and good. Nice move by Roth. Took it hard to the bucket. Lincoln now again with a 3-point lead, 7-4, 4:10 to go, quarter number one. Kleesner crossing the 10-second line against the man who just made the basket. Mitch Roth. David Lewis drives hard, stops, triple team, loses the ball momentarily, picks it back up. Pushed a little bit by Mitch Roth, but got away with it. Under 4 minutes to go, quarter number one. Lincoln with a 7-4 lead. Greg Lucan drives on Hetty. He'll fire it over to Kleesner, fakes the three-pointer. Left side is Chucky Hawkins with the basketball. David Lewis now has it against Curzan. Curzan reaches in, not called for a reaching violation. 3.5 to go, quarter number one. Lincoln still maintains that 3-point lead, 7-4. Good defensive effort there by the Alices. Hawkins jumps, pumps, and scores. Chucky Hawkins, his first bucket of the night. It's a 7-6 Lincoln lead with 3:20 remaining, quarter number one.
And it looks to me right now, Terre Haute South is just trying to hold the ball and looking for a good shot. They look a little bit lost out there without Maynard out there handling the ball. He's usually the primary ball handler, so they're usually holding the ball out right now and just looking for the best shot they can get. Bounce pass into Hetty. He'll go hard to the board, puts it up, and no good, but he's fouled.
And he smacks his hand. You can see the disgusted look when he turns around. See disgust on his face, not able to put that ball through the hoop. There's Big Charles. He'll go to the free throw stripe. 6'8", 215-pounder, headed for Evansville. Next season, he has a 75% free throw shooting average, averaging 16.7 points a game. And he puts the first one through the iron. 42 points from the charity stripe this year is Charles Hetty. He'll try it again. Tail end of a two-shot foul. Good again. Hetty gives the Allisons again a 9-6 lead with 3 minutes to go. First period over the Terre Haute South Braves. They're without their star player, Maynard Lewis. Chucky Hawkins with the basketball. He'll go against Shane Cooper, brings it back out. Left side it goes to Klusner. In the corner to Lucan, and a whistle away from the ball. Foul call on the Allisons this time.
Yeah, and right now, Coach Gene Miller, I see him going down talking to John Hyden. Hyden is available to dress, and right now he's going into the contest.
Here he comes, the first time this year, John Hyden, and he'll get a big hand from this crowd. Injured, of course, during the football season. There's John on your screen, number 24. A standing ovation for John Hyden coming into the basketball game for the first time this year. Welcome back, John. Good to have him back. Pass comes in now to Chucky Hawkins on the far side. Hyden will be guarding Greg Lucan. It goes after Lucan now on the left side. Greg with the basketball, back to Klusner. Alice is on top, 9-6. Good to have John Hyden back in that lineup. A very tough football injury, and Hank and Jerry both on the same team. Of course, Hyden played on. I know it was a loss to you guys, but it's good to have him back in basketball. Klusner dishes it up, got the roll. He has his 4th point of the night. And Lincoln still with a 1-point lead, 9-8. 2:10 to go in this first quarter. Hyden with the basketball now to Shane Cooper. He'll pass it over to Mitch Roth, back to Cooper. Shane on the dribble a couple of times. John Hyden cuts through, pitches to Mitch Roth on the far side. Hyden has that left ankle, or right ankle taped very heavily. Lowe shot won't go down, and he's fouled on his second shot. Big Justin Lowe fouled by David Lewis.
That's a really good job inside by Lowe. He didn't get the first shot that he wanted to go in, but he gets in there and gets his own rebound and puts it back up and gets fouled and goes to the free throw line. And that's what the Owls are going to have to be tough. They know they're going to get pounded down inside, but the free throw line is where they're going to have to score a majority of their points, because Hetty's going to get fouled a lot going to the line, and Lowe's going to get the ball down underneath and get fouled a lot. They got to score from the free throw line.
Well, as you say that, Hank, he was not able to score the first time.
Yeah,
Justin Lowe.
We go for that jinx every time.
Yeah, don't do that. 6'5", 215-pound senior Justin Lowe averages 9.4 a game. There, he got it. He's on his mark now. First one of the night for Lowe. He has 12 block shots on the season. Now it's a 2-point Lincoln lead, 10-8. 150, the remaining quarter number 1. Terre Haute South Braves, always tough. Long pass to Frank Smith. He'll put it up. Too short. Rolls over. Hetty goes high for the board. Gives it up to Mitch Roth. Mitch comes across the 10-second mark. Passes to Hetty on the far side of the court. Now to Justin Lowe, guarded by big Frank Smith. Mitch Roth on the drive. He'll scoop it up. No good, too hard. Roth and Cooper fight for the ball, and the travel's called.
Yeah, that's just real aggressiveness right there. Roth shot it, and he thought he got his own rebound, but Coop thought it was another guy on the team, and they both had their hands on the ball. But that's good hustle right there by the Allisons. And the Allisons seem to be a lot more in sync this game. They're not really put up the points that you'd like to see them put up, but they seem to be a lot more in sync. And
one thing I've noticed too, Hank, the turnovers up to this point have not been nearly as bad as they have been in the past for the Allisons. Brad Marshall came in to replace Frank Smith in there for the Terre Haute South Braves. Up and no good. Shot by Hawkins. Ball's loose. Lewis has it. Passes to Hawkins again. He'll take another shot. Does not get the roll. Marshall's shot goes up, but he's fouled by, I believe that's Shane Cooper, going to get called for the foul.
And one thing you notice inside Terre Haute South really is not that big of a team right now, neither are the Allisons, but they are a lot bigger inside than Terre Haute South. The South's really fighting for the boards down inside. At
the line, Brad Marshall. He is 4 out of 13 on the season from the free throw stripe, 31% from the line. 6'5", 200-pound sophomore, and does not connect on the first one.
He's trying to maintain his 30% average.
Doing a good job. Keep it up, Brad. Here's his second shot. Whoops, jinxed him the other way. Got to watch it.
It always seems to happen.
I know it. I know it. 10-9. Lincoln on top by one. 55 seconds, quarter number one. Mitch Roth to John Hayden. Cooper, Hetty, Hayden again. John, I was mentioned that right ankle very heavily taped. Outside the perimeter, down low passes taken away from Hetty by Greg Lucan. 30 seconds to go, quarter number one. Scott Klusner on the drive for the Braves. Left side it goes to Lucan. He'll fire for three. No! Rebound, Marshall. Nice block, I believe, by Hetty. Ball goes into the Alice's hands with 20 seconds to go in this first period. Lincoln up by one, 10-9. Hyde with the basketball to Mitch Roth. Now to Shane Cooper.
Terre Haute South in his zone right now, so the Alice will probably get off a three-point shot here at the end of the quarter.
And they got three excellent three-point shooters out there, especially Mitch Roth. He's going to fire it right there. Got it! Yes! Mitch Roth, his 38th three-pointer of the year. He drained the tray, which ended quarter number one. The Alice is on top by four at the end of the first period, 13-9. Be back with second quarter action in 60 seconds on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
There aren't many places you can go around here and not get interrupted by a train. Now's not the time to get stopped. There's too many choices at Westport Auto. The all-new 98 Dodge Intrepid, the all-new 98 Dodge Ram Quad Cab, the Dakota Club Cab 4x4, or lease a new Chrysler Town & Country.
And no good. High for the board goes Charles Eddy. Hands it off gingerly to Mitch Roth. He'll come into Lincoln land with a pass to Shane Cooper. Back to Roth. Hiding on the far side. Into Hetty. In the corner. Hetty back out to Roth. Quickly pass to Cooper. Up and good! Cooper cans his first bucket of the night. Lincoln now with a 6-point lead. 15-9. And Coach Pat Rady wants a timeout. See what is called a 20-second or a full timeout. 20-second timeout with 7:27 to go, quarter number one.
I'll tell you what's different right now about seeing this Alice's team. Look at the team, and they have all seniors out there on the floor. I'll tell you what, with the addition of John Hayden, it really helps this Alice's ball club. Last year at Terre Haute South, it was his three-point shot, which was changed to a two-point shot, which almost tied the game. Instead, into overtime, Hayden hit a three-point shot, but it was later ruled a two-point shot. Yeah. And Terre Haute South eventually won that game by 1 point, but just Hayden back in the lineup seems to have brought up the Alice's play right now. And even though he hasn't scored, he just had a few touches on the ball. But Hayden's a player that makes everybody else around him a lot better. And that's what he's really doing right now, just providing leadership out there for the Alices. They have a 6-point lead here in the early going against Terre Haute South.
The Braves with the basketball. Left side it goes to David Lewis. He'll bring it over to Lucan. Greg in the corner to Chucky Hawkins. Long pass to David Lewis at the free throw stripe. He'll stop there. Lucan left side, three-point land, guarded by John Hayden. Klusner now with a pass to Hawkins. Takes the clock down to 7 minutes to go. First half. Lincoln on top, 15-9 over the Terre Haute South Braves. Lincoln 9-6 in the season. The Braves 13-3, but they're not ranked in the state. Lewis with a nice fake, puts it up, no good, misses the mark, and it's off the hands of, I believe that was Marshall, out of bounds to the Alices.
Terre Haute South looks out of sync right now. I mean, I know they're missing their best player, Maynard Lewis. He's their primary ball handler also. So Terre Haute South's really out of sync right now. They're looking for shots sometimes and not really finding them right now, but it's going to take them a little while to get into sync.
Ball goes out of bounds to the Alices at the midcourt stripe across the court. And Frank Smith coming back into the contest. Big Frank, you can't miss him. He takes up a lot of room out there on that basketball floor. You see him there on the bottom of the screen, number 55. 6'5", 300-pound senior Frank Smith. Charles Eddy about to get the basketball from official Mel Redmond. Mel's been around a long time on the basketball officiating circuit. John Hayden directs traffic as he dribbles into the corner on the far side. He'll pick up his dribble. Passes taken away by Klusner. Ahead to Hawkins. He takes it hard to the bucket. Up and good. Chucky Hawkins with his 4th point. And the Alice is only with a 4-point lead now. 15-11. 6:20 to go. First half of play. There's John Hayden. You see him on your screen crossing the 10-second mark. So good to see him back in action. Mitch Roth with a basketball. Back to Hayden. No, that's Curzan. Fires for three. Didn't get it. Follows his shot. And Hayden ties up the... I'm not sure they're going to call it on Hayden or Curzan.
Yeah, it looks like Curzan. I think Curzan had a lot of the arm in there. But that's a good hustle. I mean, you missed the shot, though. Some people call that a frustration foul. But Curzan was in there trying to get the ball back. He does pick up the foul right now, with only the 3rd team foul on the Alices right now. The Alices are playing a lot better. They're really not turning the ball over as much as they have been, but they've been playing better defense as well.
Chucky Hawkins passes to Mike Singhurst in the ballgame for the first time tonight for the Terre Haute South Braves. Now to Klusner. Singhurst, baseline jumper, too hard, won't go down. Smith with the rebound. Justin Lowe did a nice job pushing him out. And you try to push Big Smith, you got something to push. 15-11. Lincoln on top. Smith bounces it back to Hawkins. Hawkins will fire a three and got it. That's Chucky Hawkins' 9th three-pointer of the year and pulls his Braves to within one. 15-14. 5:25 to go, quarter number 2. Lowe's pass to Roth, turn around, short jumper off the mark. Hauled in by Chucky Hawkins. He'll dribble it down court right side, bring it back out now. Gives to Frank Smith, back to Hawkins. He'll take it to the lane, back to Smith on the baseline, right side. Hawkins again with the basketball. 15-14, Lincoln on top. Three-pointer by Singhurst, won't go down. Board hauled in by Justin Lowe. Roth ahead to Eddie, and a little bit too far to his left, out of bounds to the Braves.
And that's one of those right there, Coach Gene Miller saying, it's not that bad of a play right there, but you got to think the game's a lot closer right now. Only a 1-point lead right now for the Alices. They take a 20-second timeout. But right there, Gene Miller likes to see the team hold the ball up and run a nice offensive play. The offense have really struggled a lot, really only 15 points, and we're halfway through the second quarter of play. But really the defense has played better, and you're not going to get a high-scoring game the way the Alices are playing now, and Terre Haute South is out there leading the score right now. So a low-scoring game is pretty much what I predicted. I figured Terre Haute South would try to run a little bit more, but really they played the slow-down tempo as well. So the Alices need to have better possessions on the offensive end. The defense is there, but the offense has got to pick it up a little bit.
Okay, the Alices will be on defense now as Scott Klusner inbounds it to Chucky Hawkins. Braves down by 1 as they cross the 10-second mark to Mike Singhurst. Back to Hawkins, guarded by Shane Cooper. Singhurst with the basketball again. Clock rolls down to 4:35 to go. Quarter number 2. Klusner to Hawkins, back to Klusner. Good defense by the Alices. In the corner it goes to Singhurst. Hawkins goes against Cooper, and Cooper's called for a blocking foul and a little hands-on activity out there. Cooper and Hawkins.
One thing you notice right now about Terre Haute South's offense, they're really looking for the three-point shot. And when they don't have the three-point shot, their only inside points are coming off dribble drive moves whenever people are going one-on-one. So really the Alices just really have to defend the three-point shot because Terre Haute South's not even looking down inside.
Klusner now to Hawkins. Around the horn it goes to Singhurst. Lincoln again, 3-2 zone defense, almost taken away, but Lowe called for a foul. Justin Lowe, anytime he gets near anyone with the ball, the official seems to blow the whistle.
And that's a little bit more of a retaliation there on Lowe. I noticed Frank Smith coming down the lane, gave Lowe a pretty big shove, and then coming back the other way, Lowe comes back and bodies up on a guy, and then he gets called for the foul there. So
it's always the one that pushes last gets caught,
really,
right?
Yep.
Hawkins with the basketball. Klusner left side, guarded by Mitch Roth. Under 4 minutes to go, first half. Lincoln still holding on to that 1-point lead, 15-14. Hawkins in the lane, jumps, pumps, nice shot. Rims in. Hawkins with the 9 points, leading scorer for either ball club. And now the Braves have the lead for the first time tonight. Frank Smith and Lowe got into it again. There you see big Frank Smith on your screen. And he and Justin Lowe going at it this time. Smith got called for the foul. Lowe turned around, kind of smiled at him, and Smith didn't smile. So Frank's going to get a seat. And Brad Marshall back in there for Frank Smith. I'm sure Justin Lowe's kind of relieved to get Big Frank out of there.
Yeah, that's one of the few guys Lowe has that's bigger than him down in low.
Lowe puts it in for his first field goal of the night.
Well, he takes advantage when Frank goes out. It eases up on Lowe a lot more, and he gets a nice shot inside. Didn't
take him long, did it? Lincoln now with a 1-point lead, 17-16. Braves had a lead for the first time very briefly, but now Lincoln took it back with 3:20 to go in this first half of basketball. Alice Arena three-pointer by Klusner. He canned it. That's his 25th three-point shot of the season. And now the Braves have another lead, second one of the game, but it's a 2-point lead this time. 19-17 over the Alices. Shane Cooper with the basketball. He'll give back to Mitch Roth. On the far side, bounces it into Charles Hetty. Hetty turns against Marshall, puts it up off the glass, no good. Nice tip up by Lowe. No good. And Greg Lucan comes out of there with the board for the Braves. Braves with a 2-point lead. 2:45 to go, quarter number 2.
I'll tell you what, Chucky Hawkins is really stepping up into really Maynard Lewis's role right there, taking control of the team, and he's only a freshman right now, but he's scoring the points that Maynard usually scores, and he's distributing the ball like Maynard usually does, so he's stepping into that spotlight right there. I believe Chucky Hawkins has 9 points right now, but he'll step up and hit the 3, and you saw the last time down, he dished it off to Klusner, and that's what Maynard usually does, makes the team around it better, and you got a freshman right now stepping up for Terre Haute South, so he's really doing pretty good in there for Terre Haute South.
Okay, Curzan called for his second personal foul of the night. And now John Hyden comes back in, and Justin Lowe's going to get a little bit of a rest. Braves on top, 19-17. 2:36 to go in the first half of basketball. Pass comes into Lucan. He'll bring it out to Hawkins, or back to Klusner now on the left side. Singhurst with a bounce pass to Lucan in the lane. He'll put it up. It will count, and he's fouled. Count the basket. And Lucan will go to the 3-point line. I think that's the 3rd foul on Craig Curzan.
Tell you what, that's one of those shots you just throw it up and say a prayer.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Curzan was in pretty good position there. He was standing there with his hands up, but Lucan did a pretty good job of drawing the contact. And I don't know how he got the shot to fall in, but he's got the 3-point play right now. And
he has 33 points from the free throw stripe on the year. He's a 74% free throw shooter. So it's a 5-point lead now for the Terre Haute South Braves. Good pick there by John Hyden as Roth goes around to his man. Over to Craig Curzan. Into Hetty, and Hetty is fouled from behind by Greg Lucan. Nice pass from Curzan to Hetty. Caused a foul on Lucan. And here comes David Lewis back in the basketball game for Terre Haute South.
And I'm sure he told Lewis there he doesn't have to take as many shots as his brother did, because they're in the early going. Lewis was taking a lot of shots and really out of control. But I'm sure Coach Rady got his team back together and said, Lewis, you don't have to do everything. We got other people around us. And he's trying to make everybody around him a lot better.
Mitch Roth in to Charles Eddy. John Hyden now with the ball. 2:10 to go, first half. Lincoln down by 5, 22-17. Hyden looks for help. He'll dish it to Mitch Roth. Mitch looking. He'll bounce it to Charles Hetty now. Turn around, jumper, too hard, won't go down. Rebound, Cooper. Shane muscles it up. Off the mark, no good. Hetty with the rebound. He'll put it back up off the glass and good. Charles Hetty in traffic. Has his 6th point of the night and pulls his Alice's back to within 3, 22-19.
And there's good board work by the Alice's inside. Cooper got the first one, and then Hetty with the cleanup.
Klusner tried a 3 off the mark. Hetty goes high for the boards. Mitch Roth. With 1.5 to go in the first half. Sets up the play as he comes across the 10-second mark. Pass to John Hyden. Almost taken away by David Lewis. Back into the hands of Shane Cooper. Guarded very tenaciously. Hetty to the bucket. Slammed it home. Charles Hetty, see him there on your screen. Big Charles, 42. He made sure that one was stuffed. Brought his Alice's to within 1 now. 22-21. 1:05 to go. First half of play. Lincoln down by 1. Hawkins on the dribble all the way to the bucket. Kicks it back out to Klusner. Fires for 3. In and out. Hawkins with the rebound. Back out to Klusner. Singhurst dishes it down low to Marshall. He'll put it up loose. And Curzan bounces it. Looked like he bounced it off of Hawkins, but the officials said no. It's Terre Haute South ball with 45.5 seconds to go in this first half. Lincoln down by 1, 22-21. Lincoln was on top 13-9 at the end of the first quarter. The Braves content to probably work for the one final shot here in this first half. No, maybe not. Down low it goes to Marshall. Back out to Klusner now. 30 seconds to go, half number 1. 22-21. Hawkins dishes it down to Marshall. Stripped away by Shane Cooper. Ahead to Mitch Roth. And he is up and good! Mitch Roth gives the Alice's back to the lead. 23-21. 15 seconds now to go in this first half. As Klusner brings it across the 10-second mark at 9 seconds to go, half number 1. Lincoln up by 1. Klusner twists, turns, and a foul called on Shane Cooper. Hank, I've noticed that the Alice's have not used the full court press all night tonight.
Yeah, I think the Alice's are more content to stay back because Terre Haute South's a real quick ball club. But I was watching Coach Rady on the sideline right now, and he was not happy with how aggressively Shane Cooper was playing out there. And I'm sure he was pretty happy to see that foul called on Cooper from the last trip down.
Mike Singhurst No, wait, that was Klusner at the line. And he got his first free throw. A 67% free throw shooter. That ties it up at 23-23. Klusner's next shot up and good. 5.1 seconds to go. Half number one. John Hayden to Mitch Roth. He'll fire long and just off the mark. Oh! Nice rebound by Craig Curzan. Just wouldn't go in. You can't get much closer than that. A very close ball game here at the half, too. The Terre Haute Braves on top of the Vin Sinsling analysis, but only by one. 24-23 at halftime. And we'll be back with stats on the first half. And, of course, all the exciting second half action. Keep it right here on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
If you want to see the best-selling cars and trucks in the world.
Up by one at the hands of the visiting Terre Haute South Braves. They're coached by Pat Rady. And the Alice is, of course, coached by Gene Miller. Miller in his 17th year as head coach of the Alice's. He has a 297-105 mark here at the Alice's. In the first half, scoring for the Alice's went this way. Mitch Roth with 7 points. Charles Hetty added 8. 2 from the line and 6 from the field. And 1 3-pointer. Mitch Roth had 1 3-pointer there in the first half and 4 points from the field area. Justin Lowe with 3 points in the first half, 1 from the free throw line, 1 from the field. That was in the second quarter. Shane Cooper had a bucket in the second period. And Craig Curzan had a 3-pointer back in quarter number 1. For the Braves, 2 men with 9 points. Scott Klusner and Chucky Hawkins both had 9. Greg Lucan with 3 points. 2 points chipped in by Frank Smith and 1 added by Brad Marshall. Just seconds away from the second half, Hank, and we look at the Terre Haute South Braves. What do you think is going to happen this half, Hank?
Well, Coach Pat Rady wants to keep up a lot what happened in the first half. He thought they played pretty well, and I thought they played pretty well in the first half. They were a little lackluster at some time, but they found what they were looking for in Chucky Hawkins. He really stepped up and played well, and he really filled the role that Maynard really fills in distributing the ball and taking the shots when they need it. So if it comes down to a crucial point in the game, you'll probably see him take the shot or throw it back out to Klusner, who's taking a lot of three-point shots. He's only hit 1 3-point shot, but he's still a deadly shooter from outside.
Okay, second half underway as Mitch Roth has the basketball for the Alice's. He'll give it up to Shane Cooper, left side. Down to Hetty. He'll spin. Nice spin move up and good. And Hetty starts off the second half with a bucket, and he is fouled.
And I don't know how Terre Haute South got down the mismatch, but Chucky Hawkins ended up guarding Hetty inside. Hawkins really isn't the type of guy you want on Hetty, and then he really pretty much had to foul him in there, but Hetty did a nice job of getting the foul and getting the bucket and going to the line for a 3-point play.
Hetty is 75% free throw shooter. 2 for 2 from the line so far, and 3 for 3 now. As he puts the Alice's on top, 26-24. Second half just underway. Here comes Scott Klusner. He'll pass it ahead to David Lewis on the far side. Lewis looking for Smith. Can't find him. He dribbles around to Klusner now. Goes the basketball. Back around to Hawkins. Lucan. Klusner. And now Smith has the ball against Lowe. Nice spin move. He'll put it up. Nice soft touch by the big man. Frank Smith now with 4 points. And we're tied 26-26, 7:20 to go, third period.
Yeah, it's hard to say he was quick there, but he actually did have a pretty quick move there on the turnaround.
It's smooth anyway, right?
Yeah.
Cooper's pass goes to Charles Hetty on the bounce. Now to Mitch Roth, left side in the wing. Hayden has it, dives after it, and possession arrow goes to the Alice's. Well, John Hayden has not lost any of his quickness. I think John dived on it and quickly called timeout very wisely.
Yeah, that's one thing you're going to get out of Hayden. Every time he's out on the floor, you're going to get a lot of hustle, and he got a bad pass there to speed, but he did a nice job coming up with it, and he's a smart player right there and gets the timeout so the Alice's keep possession because he knows what type of game this is for the Alice's.
This is the 27th time these two teams have met, and South actually leads with 17 wins. The Alice's have defeated the Braves only 9 times. I want to mention, too, that the Lincoln-Washington game that was scheduled for last Wednesday has now been rescheduled for this Tuesday, February 10th, right here at Alice Arena. That will be the 5th consecutive home game. This is the 4th in the 5-game homestand for the Alice's. And, of course, Washington on the 2nd, or rather the 10th, will be the 5th consecutive home game. John Hayden on the dribble against Chucky Hawkins. Hawkins very fast. Roth now with the basketball. Under 7 minutes to go in this third period. We're tied 26 apiece. Roth loses it momentarily. Gives to Cooper. Now Hayden in the corner. And a foul away from the ball called on Charles Hetty. I think Hetty and Hawkins had a little shoving match going on.
I think there's a foul in there on Lowe. I think Lowe might have caught an elbow inside, and he gave it to Lewis inside. So Lowe picks up his second personal foul, and it seems like every time there's a foul, Lowe always seems to be on the tail end of it.
You're right. Okay, tied at 26 apiece. The Braves with the basketball. David Lewis now has it on the far side. Lincoln on defense, and Mitch Roth with the rebound. 6:20 to go in this third period. Still tied 26 apiece. Hetty, top of the key. He'll go to a little bit to the left now. John Hayden, and it's tipped out of bounds. I thought it was maybe tipped by David Lewis, but evidently not. Out of bounds to the Braves with 6:15 to go in this third period. Justin Lowe will sit on the seat for a while, and Craig Curzan back in the contest.
Now here's a matchup for you. Lowe came out of the game, so Hetty's going to be on Frank Smith here, and we'll see if Frank Smith will try to pound down on Hetty inside.
Klusner with the basketball now for the Braves. He gives it to Greg Lucan. Smith now back to Lucan, back to Smith. Lucan again, short jumper off the iron, no good, missed the mark. Mitch Roth with the board. Ahead to Shane Cooper, back to Roth. Hetty now with the basketball. John Hayden left side. Roth for three, off the mark. Into the hands of the Braves. Hawkins with the basketball. 5:40 to go, third period. Still 26-26. Lucan to Lewis. Nice move by Lewis. And Roth almost stripped it away, but got a little bit of Lewis's hands.
Yeah, you saw a nice move right there by Lewis. He's so quick with the ball. A nice crossover move, and he's already passed the defender and down through the lane. And that's one thing the Owls are really going to have trouble defending against this Terre Haute South team, is the quickness that they possess down inside. But they're going to have to foul them over the line on some of these occasions like here, and hope that Lewis will miss a couple free throws here.
Lewis 13 out of 33 from the free throw stripe. A 39% free throw shooter. Only a sophomore. Got it to fall. Got the shooter's roll. And now Lewis with 1 point from the stripe gives his Braves a 1 point lead, 27-26. 5:33 remaining third period. Lewis again, good from the line, 2 out of 2 from the charity stripe. 28-26 now, Braves on top, 5.5 to go, quarter number 3. Roth's pass left side to John Hayden. Back to Mitch. He'll give it to Shane Cooper in the wing right in front of the Alice's bench. Dribbles all the way across the court. Practically. John Hayden now with the ball. Shane Cooper, left side, 5'10". Hetty, long baseline jumper, in and out, won't go down. Rebound hauled out of there by Lucan. He'll give it up to Hawkins for the Braves. David Lewis now against Craig Curzan. Under 5 to go, third period. Braves holds on to a 2-point lead. Lewis's pass comes to Hawkins. Into big Frank Smith. Back to Hawkins. Lucan's around to Klusner. Picked up by Shane Cooper. Hawkins on the drive. Tipped out to Klusner. Given out to Lucan. Braves working the ball around very effectively. Jumper from the free throw stripe by Lewis, no good. Rebound Charles Hetty. Lincoln now with a chance to tie it down the court this time. 28-26. Braves on top. 4:20 remaining. Quarter number 3. John Hayden directs traffic. I just can't wait for John to get his first bucket. See what kind of a standing ovation he'll get. Hetty's shot is partially blocked. Has his own rebound. Back up and good. Good effort by Charles Hetty. Did not give up. He has 12 points on the night. No, 13 actually. And we're tied again. Just under 4 minutes to play, third period. 28-28. The Braves with the basketball. Lincoln in a 2-3 zone defense. David Lewis in three-point territory against Curzan in the lane. Kicks it out now to Lucan, and a foul called on the Alices. Or no, it'll be against
Yeah, that's John Hyde stepping in there and drawing the charge. And he'll usually get a few of those a game. He'll step in there and do a nice job of acting there and get in there and draw a foul and get the ball the other way.
28-28, 3:35 to go. Quarter number 3. The Terre Haute South Braves. Vincennes Lincoln Alices. The Alices dropped out of the top 10 ratings this week in the AP polls. Hetty on a pass. Nice pass from Hayden. Great move by Hetty. Up and good. Hetty with a beautiful move to the bucket. now with 15 points and a 2-point Lincoln lead now. Three-pointer by Klusner. No! Ball's loose. Hayden has it. John with a nice play. Dishes it over gingerly to Shane Cooper. Three-pointer by Roth. Oh, off the mark. No good. Rebound Hawkins. Here he comes down the court for the Braves. Far side all the way to the bucket. Coast to coast, and a foul called on John Hayden.
And that's one thing right there. You saw Hayden make the foul, but whenever you're going to make a foul like that, and you have to, you got to make sure the shooter does not get the shot off for the three-point play attempt. At the worst, you want him to go to the line for 2 instead of the three-point play, and Hayden did a nice job of taking his arms away so he couldn't get the shot up.
84% free throw shooter, 16 out of 19 from the line is Chucky Hawkins. He has 9 points so far, has not scored here yet in the second half. Lets it fly. He has scored now. Brings his Braves to within 1, 30-29.
And for Braves fans, he may be the second coming to Maynard Lewis because he's really played real well in the absence of Maynard tonight for only being a freshman.
Hawkins again, got it again. We're tied again, 30-30. 2:50 to go, quarter number 3. This could go down to the wire. Shane Cooper's pass back to Kazan, to Hayden, to Cooper. Back to Hayden. John sets it up and directs some traffic. Kazan left side. Nice pass to Hetty. He's stripped and fouled by David Lewis.
Nice job of Charles Hetty down there. He finds the opening down in there. When there's a zone, there's always going to be a few holes in there. Sometimes it's up by the free throw line. That time it was down by the baseline. Hetty got in the hole. Dallas has got the ball to him. And now he's going to go to the line for 2. You got to find the holes in the middle of that zone defense.
Hetty and Justin Lowe have been the only 2 men at the line tonight for the Alice's. Hetty back in the first period had 2 from the free throw stripe. And here in the third quarter, he has 1. Lowe has 1. Hetty has 4 now as he connects on this one. Lincoln now with a 1-point lead, 31-30. 2:37 to go, quarter number 3. Charles Hetty, 75% free throw shooter, got it again. 5 out of 5. 17 points on the night for Hetty. He had 16, or averaging 16.7. He had 14 points last week against Evansville Harrison. Lincoln now with a 2-point lead. Shot off the mark, no good, it's loose. Lukens runs it down. Saves it from going across the 10-second mark. Gives to Scott Klusner. Hawkins with the pass into Smith. Turned around against Hetty. Got the roll. Frank Smith has his 6th point, and we're tied again at 2:05.
One thing Hetty's going to have to do if he's guarding Frank Smith, maybe get in there and draw a charge or something, because Frank's really just muscling his way back down in there. And Hetty, really not as big as Frank, obviously, and he really just can't muscle up with him.
John Hyde with the basketball. Has not taken a shot yet in this game, in this season. Hetty on a pass from Cooper. Nice move by Charles. Too soft, no good. Smith with the rebound and muscles his way out of there. Hawkins with the basketball now to Klusner. We're tied with 1.5 to go in the third quarter. 32-32. Klusner's pass into Frank Smith against Big Charles. Back to Klusner. Smith again. He'll give to Luken. Soft shot. It won't go. Rebound back up and good by Chad Skelton, his first bucket of the night. So Skelton gives his Braves a 2-point lead. 34-32. 1:10 to go in this third period. Miss Roth with the basketball. Shane Cooper now in the wing in front of the Alice's bench. Mitch Roth now with 1 minute. It's tipped high in the air to John Hayden. 1 minute to go, quarter number 3. 34-32. The Braves on top by 2. Pass down low to Hetty. Nice move, but a whistle before the shot. And a foul called on Luken. Pat Rady doesn't like that call. The Terre Haute South Braves head coach. 53.9 seconds to go, quarter number 3. Lincoln down by 2, but with the basketball.
Yeah, it's crucial right now for the Alice's to get a good possession right now. There's only 53 seconds left. GMO would like to see him run the ball all the way down to end this quarter, or to get a good 2-point shot right now, because he really don't want Terre Haute South to have the ball at the end of the quarter.
Roth looking to get it inbounds. It's dangerous. Goes finally into the hands of Charles Hetty. Dangerous pass there. Hayden has it now. Curzan baseline jumper. Pretty shot by Craig Curzan. 5 points there. You see Craig on the screen, number 45. 6'2", 180-pound junior.
And you got to watch Hawkins or Klusner here. With there's 30 seconds left, they might play for the last shot. If they do, Hawkins and Klusner.
Whistle away from the ball. and it's going to go against the Alice's. 27.9 seconds remaining, third period. Lincoln commits their fourth foul of this half. Hayden has his second personal foul. Klusner will inbound the ball with 27.9 seconds to go. It comes in deep to Skelton. He'll give it up quickly to Hawkins on the far side. Hawkins very fast. Down low to Smith. He'll let three taken by Skelton. Off the mark, no good. Mitch Roth has the basketball for the Alice's. 10 seconds to go, quarter number 3. We're tied 34-34. John Hayden has the ball. He'll give to Shane Cooper. Back to John. Fire, be there, John. Too short, no good. Hetty with a rebound, back up and good. Charles Hetty has 19 points as the third quarter comes to a close. You see a happy bunch of Alice's coming into the huddle, but a very exhausted bunch of Alice's as well. Quarter number 3 is history. And the Alice's on top by 2, 36-34. Don't go away. Be back in 60 seconds with exciting fourth quarter action on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
When you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, remember to stop in at Trent Auto Sales. Trent Auto Sales takes the worry out of buying pre-owned vehicles with warranties and the willingness to stand behind what they sell. Trent Auto Sales has been offering dependable, attractive pre-owned cars, trucks, and vans customers are proud to drive since 1971.
With a 2-point lead, 36-34. It's going to go down to the wire. Hawkins, short jumper, got it. Chucky Hawkins playing a great game. 13 points on the night for Hawkins. 19 points for Hetty. Cooper with a pass. Nice pass to Hetty. Up and good again.
Nice job inside by Cooper right there.
Yeah.
Knowing where he is and gets the ball off the Hetty.
38-36. Lincoln on top again by 2. Seesaw battle. 7:10 to go in this contest. Klusner on the dribble. Free throw stripe. Out of the hands. Out of bounds. Out of the hands of Chad Skelton. Out of bounds to the Alice's. Lincoln could and would love to increase that 2-point lead now. 38-36. Lincoln on top. 7:04 to go in this contest. Clock took a while to get going, but now it's moving. Cooper with the basketball from Mitch Roth. Shane, back over and back. The Alice's lose it. That's one of the very few turnovers we've seen tonight's contest for the Alice's.
And Coach Rady is real excited about this. He really wants his team to get this win right now and try to get some momentum. As we've mentioned about 10 times tonight, they're playing without Maynard Lewis, and Coach Rady wants his other players to see that they're a good ball club without Maynard Lewis.
Klusner on the dribble against Shane Cooper. He'll back it out now with 6:40 remaining in the game. Chucky Hawkins. Hawked by Mitch Roth and fouled by Mitch Roth. Mitch didn't quite agree with the call, but it was, and neither did some of the Alice's fans. Thought it was kind of a picky call. 6 minutes, 38 seconds to go in the game. Lincoln on top by 2, 38-36. Lincoln 9-6 on the season. Braves 13-3. Scott Klusner looking for some help. It comes in now to Skelton. Round the horn, outside it goes to Klusner now. 6.5 to go in the contest. Braves down by 2. Klusner will dish it over to Hawkins. It's loose, but back into the hands of Klusner now. Long 3 by Scott. No! Rebound Hetty. Sir Charles hauls it down, gives to Mitch Roth. Lincoln again with a chance to lengthen their lead. We have a 2-point lead now, 38-36. Curzan to Justin Lowe. Almost taken away into the hands of Shane Cooper. The nice bounce pass jumper by Curzan, no good, and a foul underneath. And is it going to be called on Hetty?
If it is, that's a real bad call because Hetty's the one that got clean.
Yep, and the Alice's fans don't like that call at all. Listen to the boos. John Hayden coming back into the basketball game. Hetty got a raw deal that time.
Yeah, he really did. Hetty jumped up right there, and I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Marshall jumped up right in his way, and Marshall kind of gave him an elbow, and Hetty went flying back, yet Hetty got the foul because the ref thought that Hetty was over the back. Really, Hetty had the inside position. There
again, the last man to make a move gets caught. But still, Lincoln maintains a 2-point lead, 38-36, 5:45 to go in this basketball game. Hawkins on the dribble. He'll bounce now to Skelton. Out to Klusner, picked up by Shane Cooper. Scott Klusner on the drive. Nice move. And ball does not go down, and Cooper is called for a foul. Head coach Pat Rady of the Terre Haute South Braves really being very animated there on the sidelines.
And everybody that sees Terre Haute South play a lot knows that Hawkins really stepping up, doing the same role Maynard Lewis has. Looks a lot like him out there. Because Maynard will bring the ball up, they'll spread the ball out, let him try to do a little one-on-one. If he doesn't have anything, they'll dish it back out. But Hawkins really running the offense a lot like Maynard.
Hawkins only averaging 4.4 points a game, and he has 13 points now.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, when your number one player goes down, there's a lot more shots that go around, so you got a lot more people who can shine out there, and Hawkins is really shining tonight for Terre Haute South.
And you got to have somebody step up and take over. Klusner's first shot goes down. It's a 38-37 ball game now. The Owls with a 1-point lead. Scott Klusner looking to tie it up here, and he does. 38-38. 5:30 to go in the game. Roth's pass ahead to Shane Cooper. Nice pass to low. Heady again. Reverse up and good. Cooper has made some great assists, and Heady has made some great baskets, great moves. Lincoln again with a 2-point lead. 40-38. Chucky Hawkins on the dribble. David Lewis now with the basketball for the Terre Haute South Braves. 5:05 to go in the contest. Mitch Roth guarding Chucky Hawkins. Hawkins lets it fly. In and out. Rebound. Braves back up. No good. Rebound. Heady. Great rebound by Heady. And Greg Lucan called for reaching in foul. There's Lucan, you see, doesn't like the call. And somebody, Craig Grzan, just walked by and gave him a little shoulder. You probably saw that on your screen, but nothing was done about it. 40-38. That's Lucan's fourth foul. He'll come out. And Mike Singhurst comes in for Lucan.
And right now, it's 4:56 to go. The Owls lead by 2. Right now is a good chance for them to start to lengthen the lead a little bit and try to draw a little space between them and the Braves.
Hyde with a nice behind-the-back dribble. Crosses the 10-second mark. Double team. He'll bounce to Shane Cooper. Roth is open on the left side. Now Roth has the basketball. Hayden has it tipped away by David Lewis. Out of bounds. Into the hands of, I think Don Allstott caught that ball that time.
And right now, the Owls has got to be a little bit more deliberate with their passes. They can't have them flutter up there a little bit. They got to throw sharp, crisp passes right now, or they're going to get the ball taken away because Terre Haute South's really roving out there on defense.
John Hayden on a pass from Krzan. Around Lewis. Bounces it into Heady. Nice move by Heady. And a foul by Brad Marshall.
I'll tell you what, Heady caught the ball, and he was ready to go with the ball. Nice, quick move. And the Owls are doing a nice job of getting the ball inside the Heady. We've seen him have trouble with the ball when Heady brings the ball up the floor. He can't get down to the post, but right now he's posting up. And Hyde and Cooper and Roth, Krzan, people are getting the ball down into him and letting him do stuff with the ball when he has a chance down low.
Krzan back to Roth. Roth lets it fly. Got it. Count it. Mitch Roth has his 9th point of the night. Lincoln now with a 4-point lead. 42-38. 4:15 to go in the game. Klusner on the dribble against Shane Cooper. Klusner bounces it in the corner. Singhurst long shot. No! Lewis with the rebound. Out to Hawkins. Hawkins in the paint. He'll dish to Singhurst again. Number 3, he got it. And he got the 3, and Singhurst has 7 3-pointers now. It's a 42-41 Lincoln lead. Exactly 4 minutes to go in the contest. And I believe a foul called on Mitch Roth. Yes, it is. So this could be a 4-point play.
Well, it could have been a 5-point play right now because the 3-point shot is hit. Hawkins was fouled, and he's going to the line right now for a bonus situation.
It could be a 5-point play. You're right, Hank. Lincoln leading by 1 right now, but we're tied now at 4 to go. 4 minutes to go in the game. We're tied again, 42-42. An 84% free throw shooter at the stripe in the form of Chucky Hawkins. 3 out of 3, 4 out of 4 from the charity line is Hawkins. Terre Haute South now with a 1-point lead, 43-42.
And a 5-point trip for Terre Haute South really hurts the Owls right there.
Mitch Roth determined, puts it up. Good! Off the glass. Count that one. Roth has 11 now. Lincoln now with a 1-point lead, 44-43. Getting exciting. 3:40 to go in the game. Klusner with the basketball. Shane Cooper on the guard. Terre South taking their time. Singhurst, the three-point man, passes it back to Klusner. Pat Rady directing traffic. Klusner puts it up. It won't go down. And a foul called on Shane Cooper. I believe that's 5 on Cooper. Yep, Shane will leave the ball game. Shane started and played the entire game tonight, picked up a total of 2 points. And that was back in the second period. So Shane will sit down, and Zach Stuckey will replace Shane Cooper. Zach, a 6'1", 175-pound junior, averaging 4.6 a game. There's Zach on your screen. Last week against Evansville Harrison, he has 6 points. At the line is Scott Klusner. He ties it up, 43-43. He's perfect from the line. 5 out of 5 from the charity stripe. 67% free throw shooter. Did I jinx him? Nope, but almost. 45-44 now. 1 point. Terre Haute South Brave lead.
And you got to feel right now the Owls got to go down to Hetty. He's been doing it all night long for him. They got to look for him down inside.
Hayden has it into Hetty. Hetty back to John. John will fire for 3. Got it! Count it! John Hayden has his first three-pointer of the year. First basket of the year for John Hayden. A three-pointer puts the Owls on top, 47-45. Under 3 minutes to go in this contest. Klusner dishes it off, but a foul called on the Alice's, and Hayden gets up a little gingerly. And the Alice's fans don't like that call. Mel Redmond, one of the officials over in front of the bench, and he was getting a lot of boos from that crowd. At the free throw stripe, Klusner, 6 out of 6. His Braves down by 2. He got it. His Braves down by 1 now. 47-46. Both teams in the bonus situation. The Braves in the double bonus now. Klusner again. He got it again. We're tied again. 47-47. 2:55 to go in this contest. Mitch Roth across the free throw stripe to John Hayden. Bounce pass to Hetty, just a little bit out of his reach. It'll go over to the Braves with 2:48 to go in this contest. Tied up 47 apiece.
And I'll tell you what, John Hayden looks to be limping just a little bit out there after he tried to draw that charge. I heard him called for the blocking foul. He's a little bit slower than what he was. Now he's trying to go to a 1-through-1 half-court trap here.
Braves with the basketball. 2:40 to go in the contest. Singhurst gives to Hawkins. Now to David Lewis. Back to Singhurst. Lincoln now in the 2-3 zone defense. Clock goes down to 2:25 to go in the game. Ball comes into Marshall. He'll kick it back out. Klusner fakes the 3. 2:20 to go in the game. We're tied 47-47. The Alice's and the Braves. Here at Alice Arena, big crowd on hand, but love to see the Alice's pull this one out.
Do you think Terre Haute South's patient enough to hold the ball for the last 2:05 of the game?
I think they might be. Yeah.
That's the question. They might. The Alice are in a zone.
No, Hawkins jumps, pumps, and no! Ball's loose. And into the hands of Lewis. Back out. Shot up, and no good. Ball's loose again. Singhurst has it. It's loose again. Mitch Roth has control. And Roth is fouled by Singhurst. There you see Mitch Roth, Zach Stuckey on your screen, Charles Eddy, Craig Krzan, John Hayden. 1:41 to go in the game. 47-47 is our score.
And it's really turned into an emotional ball game between these two teams right now. Terre Haute South, we mentioned, playing out their best player, and the Alice is really struggling right now to get a win, and they're giving it all they got tonight trying to get this win here against Terre Haute South.
Big Frank Smith back in there for the Braves. He takes up a lot of territory. 47-47. 1:41 to go in this contest. Mitch Roth at the free throw stripe. A 67% free throw shooter. Has not been there tonight yet. He'll be shooting 1-1. Here's the front end of it. It's up. It's good. Roth gives the Alice's a 1-point lead. Mitch now with 12 points on the contest. Averaging 10.3. Roth again. No. Rebound Frank Smith. Lincoln now with a 1-point lead. Here comes Chucky Hawkins and the Braves down the court. Braves fans standing on the far end of the court. Klusner passes it around to Hawkins. Back to Klusner. 1:25 to go in the contest. Lucan with the basketball. Klusner now. Hawkins has it with 1:15 to go in the basketball game. The Braves are down by 1. 48-47. Lincoln in a 2-3 zone defense. David Lewis fakes a drive. Clock about to go under 1 minute. Lincoln 48. Terre Haute South 47. Hawkins with the basketball. Under a minute to go in the contest now. Both teams in the bonus. Alice Arena coming to life. 45 seconds to go in the game.
Terre Haute South really only has 2 shooters out there, and it's either going to be Klusner or Hawkins right there with the ball.
Klusner has it back to Hawkins. Under 40 seconds to go in this contest. It's nail-biting time. Hawkins, 30 seconds to go in the contest. Lincoln still with a 1-point lead. 48-47. Klusner directing traffic. Hawkins has it on the far side. We're down to 20 seconds to go in this game. Lucan into Lewis. It's loose to Smith. Back to Hawkins. 15 seconds. Klusner. Lucan will fire for 3. No! Hetty with a rebound. And he hauls it in, and he's fouled. Hetty is fouled with 9.7 seconds to go in this game. What a game it has turned out to be.
Tell you what, though, 9.7 is a long time. And Hetty right here, a lot of pressure on him right now. You don't really want to throw it on him right now, but he's got a 1-on-1 free throw really right here. And it'd be great right now if he can make both of these right now.
Lincoln on top by 1, 48-47. 9.7 ticks of the clock left to go in the game. The Alice is 75% free throw shooter at the stripe, Charles Hetty. Big Charles, 6'8", 215-pound senior. On the stripe, no Alice is on the lane. First one's up and got it. Hetty. 6 out of 6 from the line. Lincoln with a 2-point lead. The senior, Charles Hetty, at the stripe. Lets it fly. Yes! Lincoln on top by 3. 50-47. The Alice is called timeout with 9.7 seconds to go in the contest. Be back in 30 seconds on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23. Oh, wait. It was a 20-second timeout. Only a 20-second timeout. Okay, let's keep it right here. We don't want to miss any of this action. 9.7. 9 and 7/10 seconds to go. Lincoln has a 3-point lead. 50-47. The Alice is called timeout.
Yeah, and right now you got to be figuring Terre Haute South. They know they need a 3-point shot right now. And they're either going to Klusner, who will shoot the 3-point shot, or Hawkins. Both of them have a 3-point shot in the contest. You got to think one of those 2 guys is going to show they're the 2 3-point shooters on the ball club. And then obviously you got Maynard Lewis. If you had him here, he'd be the guy to look for. But you got to think they're going to try to go down and low to somebody and then kick it back out to Klusner.
Maynard Lewis has 38 3-pointers on the year. But the next leading 3-point shooter is Scott Klusner with 24. Or 25 because he has 1 in the game tonight.
And you got to figure if they have enough time, they might try to get the ball down and then kick it back out so Klusner get an open shot. Because Klusner's more of a set shooter. He doesn't like to shoot off the dribble. But we'll see how much time they have with 9.7. They might just try to bring the ball up to half court and call another timeout.
That's probably what's going to happen, I would think, Hank. Because 9.7 is still a lot of time. It'll be Hawkins to take it out. He'll get it into Klusner. Klusner across the 10-second stripe. He jumps, pumps, and it is no good. Rebound Lucan back out to Klusner. He'll fire for 3. Got it. We're tied. We're tied. We're going into overtime. It's an overtime game here at Alice Arena. Klusner hit his 26th 3-pointer of the year, and that ties it up 50-50. We're going into OT. Second overtime game of the year for the Alices, and we're going to take a quick 30-second break. Be back with overtime in 30 seconds on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
Bring your Rex to Rex's, home of quality body and paint work since 1974. Make the right choice with Rex's Body Shop.
At Rex's Body Shop, they'll work on domestic cars, foreign cars, trucks, and even Corvettes. Open 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. on Fridays. Rex's Body Shop has 2 locations for your convenience. Bring your Rex to Rex, 2710 North 2nd in Vincennes or 102 South Main in Bicknell.
Second overtime game of the year, Hank. This is a barn burner, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And you had a little deja vu of last year. Last year, the Allisons needed a 3-pointer to tie it, but they hit a 2-pointer, or we would have gone into overtime last year. So a little shades of last year. You're a little deja vu between these two teams.
And that first one that Klusner took, his foot was on the line.
Yes,
Had that gone down, that should not have been a 3-pointer.
Yeah, the referee was having the point as a 2-point shot.
Right. Okay, Stuckey in there now for the Allisons. Gives to Craig Curzan. Back to Stuckey. John Knight with the basketball again. 50-50. Overtime. Good ball game here at Alice Arena. Curzan with the basketball now. Left side down to Hetty. Nice move. And a foul from behind by Greg Lucan.
Yeah, but that's where the Allisons want to go with. That's a good job. They know they got to get the ball to Hetty inside. He's got 25 points in this contest. He's been doing it all night, and he's going to keep on continue to do it.
5 fouls now on Greg Lucan. And the Allisons fans give him a big hand as he leaves. There you see Pat Rady talking to Greg Lucan. So Lucan has fouled out with 3 points. All those came in the second quarter. At the free throw stripe, Charles Hetty again. Hetty with 18 points. 19 now. He is Mr. Cool from that free throw line. Up again, Hetty. No, too hard. No good.
We're going to start refusing to comment on people when they go to the free throw line.
But the Allisons do have a 1-point lead. 3:25 to go in OT. Singhurst, 3-point man, gives it back to Chucky Hawkins. I like that name, Chucky Hawkins. To Klusner, the guy who tied it up with a long 3-pointer. Singhurst back to Klusner, guarded by Zach Stuckey. Over to Hawkins. Nice bit of dribbling by Hawkins. He'll bring it back out. He is quick. Stripped away into the hands of Craig Curzan. Stripped away by a combination of Mitch Roth and Zach Stuckey. John Hyden crosses the 10-second mark with a 1-point lead. 2:50 to go in this overtime period. And David Lewis showing some quick hands, too, but the ball goes out of bounds to the Allisons.
Yeah, and you saw Hyden go down to the right side. That's where Hetty was posting up, and he had Frank Smith. Frank's in front of him right there, so the Allisons can throw a lob pass over him because Frank's probably not going to be able to get up the pass to Hetty.
Curzan to Mitch Roth. Mitch on the drive. In the corner in front of the Allisons bench. Now to John Hyden. Lincoln still with a 1-point lead. 51-50. Curzan baseline. No! Hetty high for the rebound. Great rebound by Charles. To Roth. Hyden for 3. Too short. No good. It's loose. Out of bounds. Off of the Braves to the Allisons. Good call by the official. 2:26 to go overtime. 51-50. Lincoln on top.
And you got to think the Allisons are going to go back to the well again with Hetty.
Curzan's bounce pass comes into Mitch Roth. He'll give to Zach Stuckey. Stuckey on the drive to Curzan. Craig to Stuckey. Left side. Looking for Hetty. He has him. Turn around. Jumper against Smith. No go. Rebound is hauled down by Lewis. But he's called for traveling. Lincoln ball. 2:11. 51-50, Lincoln on top.
And that's a good call. It's just unfortunate for South there. Lewis came down kind of erratic right there and landed on one leg and couldn't keep his balance. A good call by the official. But this game really going back and forth, and really neither team really had the upper hand.
No, both teams playing very well. Stuckey almost took the 3. He decided not to. Curzan sees Hetty. Hetty reverse. Up and good! Great move by Charles Hetty. I got him for 28 points on the night. 28. Tying his season high. 53-50 though, more importantly. 3-pointer by Klusner. He got it, he tied it again. Klusner, 3 3-pointers were tied again. With 1:40 to go in the overtime period. Lincoln though with the ball. Hetty, up and good again. Charles Hetty, 30 points. Lincoln with a 2-point lead. 55-53. 1:25 to go in the contest. This is one of the best ones we've seen all year long. Hawkins now back to Klusner. against Zach Stuckey. Nice move by Scott. Turnaround jumper. Pretty shot.
Wow.
Klusner's come to life. Hetty's come to life.
We got two guys here putting on a show.
Really?
Klusner in the fourth quarter and overtime right now is taking this game over, and Hetty doing a little bit of his own magic for the Alice's right now.
Hetty across the 10-second mark. We're tied again. 55-55. 55 seconds to go on the OT. Hetty on the dribble in front of the Lincoln bench. Guarded up a big Frank Smith. Charles to Mitch Roth. 40 seconds to go in the OT. We're tied 55-55. Round the horn it goes to Craig Curzan. Bounce pass into Hetty. Roth takes the three. Curzan takes the three. Off the mark. No good. Ball's loose. Stuckey has it. It's loose again on the floor. Picked up by Smith. 20 seconds to go on the overtime. We're tied 55-55.
Well, who do you think is going to shoot it for Terre Haute South?
Hey, your guess is as good as Klusner. Klusner with the basketball. 10 seconds to go in the game. Overtime. We're tied 55 apiece.
They all cleared out for him right here.
Here it is. Stuckey took it away. Hawkins to Lewis. Lewis up and no good. Rebound Hetty. Calls timeout, but not before the clock runs down to 0 again. Second overtime.
Oh, God.
We're in double overtime, folks. Double OT. 55-55. Be back in 30 seconds with more on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
This is Doug from Data Depot. You're in the market for a new computer, right? But you're not sure what type of system you need. Come into our new showroom on 2nd Street and we'll go over your requirements. Then we'll build you the best computer for your current and future needs. Our specialty for the last 7 years has been providing the best custom-built computers using only name brand components. You won't be disappointed and it won't cost you an arm and a leg. Our prices are very competitive and we have the largest stock of components, peripherals, and supplies in the area. Data Depot on 2nd Street in Vincennes.
We're back. 55-55. You see the Alice's bench there on your screen. Coming back out on the court for double overtime.
And I'll tell you what, credit goes to Zach Stuckey right there. He got his hand on the ball, and the way Klusner was shooting, you had to believe that ball was going in too. Hetty in the contest right now, I have him for 30 points, and Klusner 12, 8, 20 points in the contest, but he's had a lot of those in the fourth quarter and in overtime. So Klusner really lighting it up, and we're going to double overtime. And the Alice's haven't played a double overtime in a long time, but they're going to try to pull this one out here.
Klusner averages only 6.4 a game, and he has 20 now. Hetty averages 16.7 a game, and he has 30 now.
We talked about people stepping it up. We thought it was Chucky Hawkins, but it ends up being Klusner here at the end.
A lot of guys stepping it up tonight. Hetty and Hawkins tip it away. Curzan chases it down, but it goes out of bounds off the hand of Singhurst to the Alice's. And I think Singhurst's going to be called for a personal. Yes, he is. So that'll stop the clock in double overtime with the 3:58 remaining.
And the thing that happens in overtime, really, by that time, most teams are in the bonus situation. So on every foul, there's going to be free throw shots, and that's where free throws come down to shoot.
Curzan at the free throw stripe. 83%, 5 out of 6. Got the roll. Craig Curzan gives the Alice's a 1-point lead. 6'2", 180-pound junior lets the second one fly. 2 in a row by Curzan. Crucial free throws down the stretch.
And it's always good to get a lead to start out with overtime, so you're playing ahead, not playing from behind.
The Braves with the basketball. Hawkins on the far side to Smith. Now to Klusner to Lewis. 3:45 to go, double overtime. Lincoln on top by 2, 57-55. Long pass, cross court to Klusner. And again, the Braves being very patient on offense. 3.5 to go in the double OT. Hawkins against Stuckey again. Zach doing a great job defensively. Over to Singhurst, back to Hawkins. 3:15 to go. Hawkins in the lane. You dish it down to David Lewis. Klusner for 3, baseline jumper. No! Hetty again high for the rebound. Hetty may have a triple-double before the night's over. Hayden with the basketball, bounces to Mitch Roth. Lincoln on top by 2. Under 3 minutes to play, double overtime. Roth for 3. Count it! Mitch Roth, his 39th three-pointer of the year, and that gives the Alice's a 5-point lead with 2:50 to go in this double overtime contest. timeout called. And we're going to break for 30 seconds. Timeout by the Braves. Back in 30 on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
Public notice, there's a new transmission shop in Vincennes, TransDrive at Memmering Motorplex. TransDrive services all makes and models, both foreign and domestic, usually in one day. Receive a personal inspection by our knowledgeable trained technicians, and TransDrive will provide you with free shuttle service or loaner. Call Russell Short or Dave Brower for quality transmission service at low competitive prices. They've got to be good. Even other dealers use TransDrive. Memmering Motorplex, the area's first TransDrive center. TransDrive, 1949 Hart Street, Vincennes.
Talk about stepping it up. Charles Hetty had 8 points in the first half, and now he has 22 points here in the second half.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we've had a little bit of a failure right here with my headphones, so I've had to stand up the whole game. But I'll tell you what, I picked the wrong game to try to stand up through over here. But this game has really been great for the Owls. They played a lot better, but they led by 5 points earlier with about a minute left to go in the fourth quarter, and Terre Haute South brought it back from Klooster. So still 2:50 to go, a lot of time in this second overtime.
Lincoln on top by 5, 60 to 55. The Braves have the basketball, 2:40 to go in this double overtime. Chucky Hawkins on the drive. At the free throw line, picks up his dribble, gives to Scott Klusner. 2.5 to go. Ball is loose, being chased down by Lewis, out of bounds to the Alices. Chucky Hawkins let it go off his fingertips, out of bounds to the Alices. 2:24 to go in this overtime. Double OT. Lincoln with a 5-point lead. John Hyden with the basketball. Looking for some help, can't get rid of it. And very wisely calls timeout. Pat Rady was up one of the 5-second call, but Hyden, being the very wise senior player he is, calls timeout. And we're going to take a 30-second timeout, too, with 2:15 to go. Double overtime. Lincoln on top, 60-55. Back in 30.
Are you worried about the economy? Now is the time to consolidate your debt into one small monthly payment at Personal Finance Company. It's confidential and fast with no application or closing cost fees. Keep your money into your pocket every month. Whether it's credit cards, medical bills, home, or even car repairs, call Personal Finance Company. Get ready for the tough times by having more money every month. Personal Finance Company, located at 28 North 2nd Street in Vincennes.
If the Alices can hold on here, what a momentum builder this would be, Hank. This would be a turnaround game.
Yeah, it really would be. The Alices really played their heart out. And I'll tell you what, it's a good thing the Alices don't have a game tomorrow. Because the way this game's going right now, they're really fatigued. I'll tell you what, you got Hyden out there. It's his first game back, and I know he's usually in pretty good shape, but right now, your first game back, you're going to be a little bit tired. And I'm sure Hyden's pretty tired after all the minutes he's played tonight. He's really played well. Hyden only has 3 points in the contest, but those 3 points he had were huge when he hit a three-pointer. Alice has got to hang on and play good defense here, but they have to get a good offensive possession here, try to run some time off the clock.
Brzan into Mitch Roth. Guarded by Hawkins, across to John Hyden, now to Zach Stuckey. Stuckey on the left side, guarded by Klusner. Good dribbling by Stuckey. We're under 2 to go now, double OT. Lincoln still with that 60 to 55 lead. Nice bit of dribbling by Mitch Roth. He's double teamed. Stuckey has the ball, back to Roth. John Hyden very close to that 10-second mark, and is fouled by Klusner. Scott Klusner picks up his first personal foul, but John Hyden will go to the free throw stripe.
And we'll see if he's worked on free throws in the time he's been gone, and see if Hyden can knock down some big free throws here and try to extend the Alice's lead.
Hyden has 1 3-pointer on the night. Here's his first free throw of the year. He got it. So Hyden, excellent from the field tonight. 4 points, and that gives the Alices a 6-point lead in the double OT. 1:52 to go in this time. Missed the second shot. Frank Smith has the rebound for the Braves. 6-point lead by the Alices. 1:45 to go. Double overtime. Hawkins loses it momentarily, picks it up, goes way back, and it goes into the hands of Craig Brzan. Zach Stuckey. Zach very wisely slows it up. Gives to Charles Hetty. John Hyden now. 1.5 to go in the game. 6-point Lincoln lead. Double overtime. Lincoln in the driver's seat right now. Just need to keep the car on the road. 1:15 to go. Double OT. Stuckey has the basketball. Back to John Hyden. Mitch Roth. 1:10 to go. Stuckey again. And Hetty. He's not going to shoot this. Hyden to Roth. Curzan was all alone underneath, but Roth is fouled by Chad Skelton. 1:05 to go in the game. Double overtime. Lincoln with a nice 6-point lead. At the free throw stripe, Mitch Roth. 1 out of 2 from the line. 13 out of 20 on the year. 67% free throw shooter. Mitch has 2 threes on the night. And got the roll. Rattled in and out and back in.
That's a big free throw right there because it extends it to 7 points, which means it's a 3-possession game.
With 1:05 to go. Roth again. Nope, too short. Rebound the Braves. Robin Johnson in for the Braves. Hauled that rebound down. Klusner. Long 3 on the way. No good. Hawkins with the rebound. He'll bring it back out. Taken away by Stuckey. Zach showing some good hands tonight. Good defensive move by Zach Stuckey. John Hyden ahead to Craig Curzan. The Alice's fans on their feet. Standing ovation. Charles Eddy to Mitch Roth. 35 seconds to go in the double OT. Foul called on Chucky Hawkins. 36.5 seconds to go. Double overtime, Hank.
And it's really nice to see the Alice's in the driver's seat about to win this contest. I know the fans are really tired of losing. The Alice's fans, good fans, they like to support the team, but it's hard to support a team when they're not playing well. The Alice's turning around tonight. They're playing a lot better.
Hyden again from the stripe. Off to the mark to the left a little bit. 62-55. A 7-point Lincoln lead. 36.5 seconds to go. Double overtime. Hyden in and out, no good. Frank Smith has it. Ahead to Johnson. Taken away by Stuckey again. Zach Stuckey all alone. Left side up and good! Zach Stuckey putting on a great defensive effort here this evening. 64-55, a 9-point Lincoln lead. Klusner for 3. No. Petty goes high after being pushed by Frank Smith. Hauls it down with 10 seconds to go in this overtime. Double overtime. Lincoln gonna pull it out. A great, tremendous effort tonight by the Lincoln Alice's. 3, 2, 1, and that is it. The Alice's win in double overtime. 64-55. The Alice's scoring 14 points in the overtime sessions, allowing only 5 points to be scored by the Braves in OT. Man, what a game. 64-55, our final here from the Alice Arena. The Alice is on top. Alice is winning number 10 on the year. Lincoln 10-6 now. The Braves drop to 13-4. Super effort by the Alice's tonight here at Alice Arena. And we're going to take a little break, come back in a little bit, and give you the stats on the game, and hopefully have an interview with Don Allstott. Keep it right here on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
Snyder's Body Shop. We've been in business for over 25 years because we care about our customers. Whether it's spot repair or complete paint job, choose Glassrick colors to guarantee the best possible finish.
Snyder Body Shop. When you care about your car, we're your next stop. We care, and we show it at Snyder Body Shop. We care, and we show it.
Snyder's Body Shop. We take the dents out of accidents.
The secret to any successful recovery is to have professional care you can count on. Our goal is to provide you with full recovery from your injury. Vincent's Orthopedic has established a reputation to properly assist you with your injury, specializing in therapy that will recover you back to normal. Vincent's Orthopedic Sports Medicine Center will utilize the proper exercises for faster recovery. Take it to the professionals at Vincent's Orthopedic, located at 1019 Bayou Street, Vincennes.
All right, back here at the Alice Arena. The Alice's win it by a score of 64-55 and scoring in the contest for the Terre Haute South Braves. They were led by Scott Klusner. Klusner had 23 points, including a three-pointer that sent this contest into overtime. Chucky Hawkins, only a freshman, had 15 points in the contest. 6 points for Frank Smith, 3 points apiece for Mike Searcy, and also Greg Lukens, and 2 points apiece for David Lewis and Chad Skelton, and 1 point for Brad Marshall. For the Alice's, they were led by Charles Heddy. Heddy only 8 first-half points, but came back to score 22 points in the second half and in overtime. He had 30 points in the contest. Mitch Roth ended up with 16, hit 2 crucial three-point shots. 7 points for Craig Krzan in the contest. 4 points for John Hyde in his first game back from his ankle injury. He hit a three-pointer and also had a free throw in the contest. 3 points for Justin Lowe and 2 points apiece for Shane Cooper and Zach Stuckey. The Alice's get a well-deserved win here tonight at the Alice Arena by a score of 64-55. We'll be back hopefully with an interview with assistant coach Don Allstat after this 30-second timeout on Cablevision Communications, Channel 23.
Welcome to Sam Satellite City. May I help you?
I'm interested in DBS.
Direct broadcast satellite. You'll need a dish, a receiver, decoders, and converters, connectors, various and sundry electronic components.
I need all this?
This will get you started. Say, how many TVs do you have?
3.
Well, then, you're just going to need a few more things, aren't you? There you go. Of course, this doesn't include your monthly subscription fees.
That costs extra?
And if you still want to watch local network programming, you'll also need a regular antenna. We have an excellent selection of regular antennas.
Okay, we're back at Alice Arena. A very exciting contest. A double overtime win for the Alice's 64-55 over the Terre Haute South Braves. With me is assistant coach Don Allstott. Don, what a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's a great game. Finally, we got one. You know, I don't know what we would have done if we would have lost that game as far as mentally. The kids just hung in there. You know, what can you say? We got the fans excited. It was a fun atmosphere of high school basketball tonight.
Well, Charles Hetty had 30 points total. I think he had 8 in the first half and 22 points in the second half. Did you change anything with him at halftime?
No, not really. I mean, the kids just looked for him in the inside there. You know, John stepped in there, and, you know, as well as Chuck scoring the 30, you also had, the inside-outside game working. We talked about that a little bit last week where we didn't get any of that. You know, Chuck got it inside, and he hit Mitch back on the outside and got that three facing straight up. And I think that's where John got a couple good looks as well in the inside-outside game. And, you know, it's just finally nice to see Chuck get loose on the inside there. He probably had 30 points, and I'm guessing at least 15 rebounds, maybe more.
I'm sure he did, at least 15, yeah. Hey, it was great to see John Hyden back in action tonight. I know he contributed 4 points, that one big three, but more than that, I think he contributed an emotional factor.
I guarantee it he did. You're right, Dan. I mean, he's a heady player. He's, had success in all the sports that he's played, and he's always asking Coach what's going out on the floor. He's like a coach on the floor out there. He's an extremely intelligent kid. He knows his weaknesses and his strengths, and kids look up to him. They ask him questions as well, and he just really stabilizes our offense for us.
You mentioned this is a lot of momentum here in this ball game tonight, and you've got a tough schedule throughout the rest of the season. This could be a turnaround kind of game for you.
It was. I mean, I think it is. The kids believe in themselves after these type of wins like this here. It's a dog fight. You think you have it won, and they come back and they hit a three on us, to get it in the first overtime. So, what a heck of an emotional win for us, and we'll be ready for Washington coming here Tuesday.
Yeah, speaking of Washington, of course, postponed from last Wednesday, and that's not going to be an easy chore. It's a Big 8 game, too.
Yeah, it's a Big 8 game for us. We're looking, for the challenge for them coming over here on Tuesday night. It's a chance for us to win a championship during the season here. We got to take care of business with Washington here first before we go down to Tell City and play. So, it should be a good atmosphere for us.
And, Don, of course, you're head coach of the JV squad, and you came pretty close tonight.
Yeah, I'll take that loss on myself because we were ahead 33-32, and I tried to get one more press in there, and they got a layup off of us, and we fouled them at the end, and that was all she wrote for us.
Well, I wasn't blaming anybody. Now, you didn't have to say that.
I will. I'll blame myself for that one.
Okay, Don, thanks for talking to us again. And once again, the final score here, double overtime. The Alice's take it over the Terre Haute South Braves by the score of 64-55. On behalf of my cameraman, Jerry Merck, my statistician, Hank Lopez, this is Dan Ravelette saying thanks for your time this time. Till next time, good night, everyone.